Hi, good morning, friends, and welcome to After GMS. We are live here on the WFMY News 2 Facebook page, as we are every weekday at 7:45. I'm Megan Malaris alongside Ed Matthews and Marissa Tansino, who's joining us for a few days this week. Stacy is fine, by the way. I saw a couple of you ask. She's just on vacation with her family. She's good, baby's good, everybody's good.
Everybody's great. And Ed, we're great because the weather, I mean, look at these
gorgeous
views. It looks great outside. We might want to keep the raincoat nearby just in case.
Well, that's a great idea. The last time I was out in the weather garden, there were a few sprinkles there. And we're seeing a few sprinkles move across the Piedmont and a few isolated showers and upper level disturbance moving through the area. Not going to get much, and it'll be east of the area by around 12 or 1 o'clock. And then we'll see afternoon clearing. On our way pretty close to 70, it'll be clear in mid 40s tonight. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and mid 70s. A cold front will move through on Wednesday. Only an isolated shower from that, and then much cooler for Thursday and Friday. It'll be mostly sunny both days. Morning lows on Thursday and Friday in the mid 30s, 62 the high on Thursday, and 67 coming up on Friday. So get ready for a little cool down later on this week.
Yeah, tomorrow, Tuesday, seems like the pick day of the week. Excited about that. Let's get right into our first conversation already. Several of you are weighing in on this or texting us on our News 2 text line. We're talking about vaccines. The CDC says more than 50% of American adults now have received at least one dose of the COVID-19 vaccine.
Yeah, so for our first conversation, we're doing another vaccine check-in, and we want to know, what's your status? Have you been able to get vaccinated? Are you still in between doses, or are you holding off? What about your friends and family in other states? Make sure you join our conversation by leaving a comment on our Facebook page. The CDC says 50% of Americans ages 18 and older have at least received a first dose. When it comes to being fully vaccinated, though, 32% of Americans have both doses or the single dose Johnson & Johnson shot. On a state level, New Hampshire has the highest vaccination rate, with 71% of its residents now vaccinated. Here in North Carolina, state health leaders say about 45% of adults has at least one shot. 33% of those 18 and up are fully vaccinated. So we've asked you to share what your vaccine status is, whether starting the doses, fully vaccinated, or holding off. Samantha says that she'll be getting her last dose on the 21st of April. Looks like she's getting Moderna, so that's tomorrow. Good for her. Lee says that got my last shot 2 weeks ago. Mary says, I am fully vaxxed as of last week and very grateful to be. And Sandra says fully vaccinated as of March 24th. And another viewer says, got my second dose yesterday. Very minimal side effects. I would do it all over again if it means getting back to normal. So I agree with her there. I had the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, like I mentioned, and earlier in the show, and it was the 24 hours after, I had fever, chills. It wasn't necessarily pleasant, but knowing that I have that protection and that I'm fully vaccinated is just great peace of mind.
Yeah, and we've heard of that. I experienced some minor symptoms too after my second dose of one of the 2-dose vaccines. Obviously, the CDC is investigating the isolated incidents of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, and we hope to have another update on that in the coming days. But a lot of us can relate, no matter what vaccine we got, to the mild chills, fever, things that the experts have said are typical of any of the vaccines. Of course, if those symptoms were to get severe, that's when you'd want to call your doctor just in case to check in. I'm fully vaccinated as well. Got my second dose more than 2 weeks ago. So I mentioned this on the Good Morning Show. We had lunch outside with another couple yesterday who's also fully vaccinated. And for us, it really had come full circle because these friends who we saw were the same friends who were the last people we saw right before all the restrictions went in place in our state back in March of 2020, when all of this really started ramping up. So that was kind of like a symbolic moment for me, thinking, wow, this feels really nice to be able to feel a little bit of normalcy again, Ed.
That's right. I'm fully vaccinated as of 3 weeks ago. I got my second Pfizer shot 3 weeks ago, so I'm good to go. I'm going to wear my mask as long as the rest of the world wears their mask. I might wear it for the rest of my life. I don't know. I just want to be extra careful It's great to be vaccinated, but I'm not totally sure about taking off the mask. I think it might be a little premature to do that, but I had no issues at all. Everything was fine.
Yeah, and just to go off, Megan, what you said, I was just feeling so much relief. It was like once the shot went into your arm, it was kind of emotional in a weird way.
Yeah.
I mean, you felt this like full circle coming around. You remembered the start of the pandemic and where we were and the shifting to remote work and things of that nature. So it's really been a full circle moment for a lot of us, and certainly happy to be where we are.
Yeah, and a lot of people agree. At the same time, the vaccine is not for everyone, and our talking about this is in no way trying to project anything on you, saying you have to do this or you don't or whatnot. What's best for you and your family might be different from what's best for us or for your friends and family. So it's just important that you make the decision best for yourself and talk to your doctor. Just make sure you're getting reputable information as you make that decision. Let's see what some of you are saying about this. A lot of people already fully vaccinated as well. Let's see, Nadine said fully vaccinated since January. Jason got his second dose on the 29th. Geraldine said not for her, not happening. Heather said halfway. She got a second dose on Star Wars Day, May 4th. Jessica said she unfortunately gets really sick anytime she gets a vaccine. Now, the CDC has said there are people who get severe allergic reactions to any vaccine. That is why there's that 10 to 15 minute waiting period after any of the 3 vaccines where they monitor you for symptoms and make sure that you don't have some kind of an allergic anaphylactic reaction. So that's definitely something to talk to your doctor about if you're concerned. Sherade said second one received this past Saturday. Gloria said fully vaccinated. Wanda said first one, second one on the 30th. A lot of people continuing to weigh in here. But Marissa, again, I know we both have related to this, Ed Matthews too, just that sense of relief, feeling like we can finally start doing some of these things with a little more comfort than we could before. Obviously keeping in mind the restrictions that are still in place and the mask mandate that is still in effect.
Right, and not everybody, as we're seeing in some of the comments here, I think is on the same page, is necessarily feeling safer. Wed says that they got vaccinated, but the vaccine didn't make them feel any safer. Still keeping a mask and social distancing, which are all, of course, important things. And like Megan, you said, just do what's best for you and your family. Talk to your doctor, have these conversations, and do what you can. So.
And we'll keep doing our part to keep you informed as well on the latest. We'll have another conversation coming up momentarily, but we want to get to our morning headlines right now. Today is a big day for schools. Guilford County schools, high school and middle school students return to in-person learning 5 days a week. Under the new guidelines, less social distancing is required. Students can now be 3 feet apart rather than 6 while in class, but students will need to keep a distance of 6 feet when in hallways and in common areas. Guilford County Schools is doing away with mandatory health screenings and temperature checks for students before entering school buildings. The district said it is now up to parents to monitor their children's symptoms. This all comes from new reentry guidelines issued by the state. Winston-Salem Forsyth County middle and high schoolers will also be back in class under Plan A starting today. That district is switching from a hybrid remote and in-person learning model to all students back in classrooms, but 4 days a week. Wednesdays will be cleaning days. Students did receive the options to stick with remote learning if they wanted to do so. School leaders say they're expecting 62% of students back today. Vice President Kamala Harris will visit the Triad today. Her visit will start at Guilford Technical Community College. Then she'll tour Thomas Built Buses, a manufacturer of electric school buses in High Point. VP Harris will be joined by Governor Roy Cooper. Because of COVID restrictions, though, those events are not open to the public. We will have complete coverage for you all day long. Organizers at Greensboro's mass vaccine site at the Four Seasons Mall are still figuring out what will happen next. That site initially was supposed to start giving out the 1-dose Johnson & Johnson shots this Wednesday. Those appointments were paused when the CDC and FDA recommended temporarily halting the use of the shot. Officials say they are considering extending how long the vaccine site will be open, but there's no final decision as of yet. All right, this next conversation we are talking about involves a viral video. It is almost too wild to believe. I mean, Marissa, we were talking earlier that if this hadn't been recorded, I would have questioned whether it actually happened.
Oh yeah, the video I had initially seen circulating on Twitter, and it's just incredible. A Pender County couple was leaving their home when they were attacked by a rabid bobcat. The video, like I said, is crazy. Shows Christy and Happy Wade heading out last week. They were taking their cat to the vet, and Christy was carrying the pet to the car in a carrier. That's when the bobcat darts across the road and attacks her. Happy runs over and is able to get a hold of the bobcat, throwing it across the yard. Both say it was clear the bobcat was rabid by how frantic it was acting. Once again, chasing Christy into the garage, Happy shot the animal and it was sent to Raleigh, where it did test positive for rabies. Both the Wades have now received several rabies shots and will be fully immunized for rabies in about a month. Officials say the video is a good reminder to get household pets vaccinated against rabies. It also serves as reminders of signs to watch out for when it comes to a rabid animal. Officials say in wild animals, they will be aggressive, but could also be uncharacteristically affectionate, and they will often be drooling excessively. Nocturnal animals spotted out during the day can also be a sign of rabies. If you see an animal you believe could have rabies, you should contact your city or county animal services right away. Wow, I just am almost speechless by the video, and I was telling Megan during the show, because it looked to me, maybe it didn't come out from under the car, like it was maybe under the car, but now I'm like walking in my car nervous because I don't want, I mean, and the scream that it let out right before it attacked was just incredible.
The audio on that video is also just amazing. It starts out so nonchalantly, like this couple, I think the guy says he's just gonna wash his car. I mean, it's just a normal day. And then all of a sudden his wife comes screaming and she has this bobcat on her, and the guy's like, oh my gosh, this is a bobcat. It's absolutely wild, but some good reminders about animals behaving differently. There's the video again. It's like crazy almost to watch in slow motion there as the bobcat literally attacks. Yeah, a good reminder, we have beautiful wildlife here in North Carolina. Sometimes things go awry and we hear of these instances of rabies, and Ed, just again, good reminders to always be on our guards and watching and to vaccinate our household pets.
I am wondering, the fact that the bobcat was rabid, I wonder, obviously an incredible aggressive change of behavior there. I think normally in the wild a bobcat would not attack, but again, I think the fact that the bobcat was rabid probably played into the factor that it did attack. This is not something you hear about every week, a bobcat, you know, attacking. So, you know, and then of course I'm assuming that, you know, they, you know, went and got tested, you know, for rabies and all that stuff. I mean, obviously that would have been a smart thing to do, but you know, any wild animal like that, but especially a rabid animal, very, very dangerous.
Very dangerous, and a reminder, get those pets vaccinated.
Yeah, I actually, after seeing this story last week, I called my local vet and asked when my cat was due for his annual appointments, annual vaccines, and got him scheduled, because you don't know this time of year if they come into contact not only with something crazy like this, but just insects like ticks that can cause severe illnesses as well in pets. So just good reminders from this absolutely crazy video, just to be on guard, we should say.
Yes, a lot of people talking about it. Tamrika says, oh my, that is scary. Cats are crazy and unpredictable is what Jason says.
Oh, Jason. I'm a cat person, so.
House cats might be a little bit more tame. So a lot of people are reacting to this.
Man.
So
I think bottom line, you know, in most cases, if you leave the nature alone, it'll leave you alone. But of course, watch for signs that the animal's behaving
as it's not
differently. All right, let's round out with the final check of our forecast. Ed, I'm noticing as we've been talking, a few of our sky cameras showing the clouds darkening. Is rain on the way? Yeah,
we've been preaching that one all morning long, but not much rain. Only a sprinkle or an isolated shower. Just kind of some pretty dark clouds out there with this little disturbance moving through. But a sprinkle or a shower, and then the sun comes out this afternoon. It's going to be a great day. We'll make it up near 70. Clear in mid-40s tonight. We're into the mid-70s, warmer on Tuesday. Cold front brings an isolated shower on Wednesday, and then much chillier air for Thursday and Friday. It'll be breezy and mostly sunny, only low and mid 60s for Thursday and Friday. And you can see both on Thursday and then again on Friday morning, temperatures chill into the mid 30s. I think we'll stay above freezing, but we're going to be a few degrees shy of it for sure. And then the weekend, not definite as to what's going to happen. We put a low shower chance in for late Saturday and into Sunday, and then we'll be watching that as we go through the week. Computers as usual, computer models, never disagreeing, never making my job easy.
Oh.
They're all in different directions, and
Yeah.
we'll figure that out as we go through the week. Hopefully we'll see another nice weekend.
Tuesday looks good.
Yeah.
Great.
Great day forecast.
Yeah, but those lows out on Thursday and
Yeah.
Friday, I had contemplated planting my vegetable garden this weekend. I'm kind of glad I held off. Flowers, though, we've already planted. So be watching Thursday and Friday. It sounds like we might need to cover up what we've already planted.
We'll see. Again,
Okay.
I think we're going to stay above freezing, but there could be some frost around.
Okay.
So we'll be tracking that very closely through the week.
All right, sounds good. Thanks so much for starting your week with us here on After GMS. As always, we have so much fun chatting with you, catching you up on the stories of the day and our fun conversations.
Yes. The Good Morning Show wrapping up today, but WFMY News 2 will continue at noon and later tonight.
See you later. Take care.
HUWE.